Corded Books presents Cheating Death by Kenneth M. Valentine, narrated by Brian Hutchison. Forward by John Clark. The United States Secret Service has always stood out to me as an example of the definition of the quiet professional. During my 30-year federal law enforcement career, I have had the pleasure to work with outstanding local, state, and federal law enforcement professionals in the pursuit of keeping our citizens and our great homeland safe. In my experience and opinion, the Secret Service is uniquely special in history, training, and mission. These men and women have what is arguably one of the most difficult jobs among all who wear a badge and carry a gun for a living: protecting the President of the United States. Cheating Death is the remarkable account of the storied career of one Secret Service special agent who tells you what it is like to protect the leader of the free world, the President of the United States. Ken Valentine leaves no doubt that the willing duty of any presidential Secret Service agent is to live ready to sacrifice your life for that of another, a challenge that only an elite few would or could accept. This book reveals a deeper part of Ken's character and values, as he also tells the reader not only how to live ready to die, but how to live ready to live. We can all tend toward living our lives moment to moment, getting through one day, and then another, living a life that conforms to the world. This book is a roadmap on how to break the cycle and live your life to its true fullest, even when you are facing difficulties, hardships, health concerns, career choices, raising kids, and everything in between. Cheating Death is a testimony of how to find true success in life, not as the world might define it, but as it is defined by a higher calling. During my tenure as director of the United States Marshals Service, I regularly carried the burdens of knowing the sacrifices and grinding efforts behind the scenes that were typical for ensuring that everything important went well. Catastrophe and negative national news constantly awaited any failure. As the CEO at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, I walked a challenging course to keep kids safe and thwart predators, a mission that never rests. Cheating Death resonates deep in my soul as Ken vividly details the pressures and challenges of life and career, and how he learned to gracefully submit to direction over perfection. This is the book I wish I had written. Ken pulls together the most timely and necessary words of wisdom we need to hear right now, for such a time as this. This book is the one-stop shop for you to know how to cheat death in your life beginning today. This is also a book I wish I could have read much earlier in my life. Ken has command of important life issues and a tremendous gift for conveying truth. My admiration for the Secret Service and appreciation for this humble servant leader could not be higher. This book is like the man, understated, solid to the core, firm, and yet humbly gentle. His dry sense of humor and quick wit bleed through his writing. Ken has the ability to bring the right touch of levity to serious business. In the most intense situations, Ken Valentine stands out for his calm, reassuring demeanor. In Cheating Death, Ken delivers what we need, with perfect timing, just as he does in person. Ken Valentine has cheated death all around the world with the lives of 3 sitting presidents, and he always faithfully came home to Sandra to help rear 5 amazing children. This guy knows some things. He has more than a few secrets, and now he's ready to open his journal, his life, and his heart to share his incredible story. Ken will challenge your assumptions, stir controversy in some circles, make you laugh out loud, and expertly guide you to live your best life. Read this book. Live Ready and Cheat Death. John F. Clark, Director, U.S. Marshals Service, retired, and former CEO, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. For my 3 Musketeers. This book began as a series of letters to my 3 sons, John, Mark, and Andrew. When I began writing, I was a special agent with the United States Secret Service. The difference in their age and size was significant. John was more than twice the size of Mark and Andrew combined for a while. Back then, I could manage a triple assault from these guys pretty well. The playful attacks by the boys in our basement was a favorite activity when I was home for an evening or weekend. When I began writing, the differences in their personalities were not yet clearly defined. This was more than 20 years ago. Much has changed. I retired after 24 years with the Secret Service. Technology has changed nearly everything. The winds blow and the seasons change. We grow, age, and see so much transition all around us. My advice, instruction, and challenge for them, for myself, and for anyone who asks, however, has not wavered. In the midst of an ever-changing world, you can count on only one true constant. God has never changed. From Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8, NIV. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. More than 20 years later, having pressed the letters to my boys together into this book, the boys are all 6'5". I no longer attempt to prove myself physically with any of them. Their personalities are crystallizing. In fact, although similar in size, they could not be any more different in personality. I'm so pleased with how each has developed their gifts. My version of the Three Musketeers, my three sons, an interesting trio of mixed nuts, is anything but ordinary. 1. The lover. Lovable, funny, amiable, and easygoing. Sandra has said many times, if you can't get along with this one, you can't get along with anyone. The lover would play basketball all day long and watch basketball when he got tired of playing basketball. Always quick-witted, except early in the morning, he's generally known to have the best hair. 2. The artist. Exacting, thoughtful, creative, and fearless. Slow to speak until age 4, and still chooses his words carefully, which I appreciate. When he does speak, it is always deep and meaningful. He speaks not only with words, but with multiple art mediums and a clear gifting from our Creator, the ultimate giver of creative gifts. 3. The thinker.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.